Hi, it's your old pal Magnified 111 here. I Tomorrow is Easter, and as such, I thought I would regale you and mesmerize you with stories and tales of ancient lore pertaining to Easter, because many people don't know the origins of the holiday. And so I, Magnified 111, will give you the origin story of Easter. So gather the kids around and and bring them all close by, and everyone could come and sit on Magnified 111's lap and hear the story of Easter. Here goes. So, a long, long time ago, a very nice man named Andrew Jackson, he had a lot of people living east of a place called the Mississippi River, and they were very unhappy where they lived. These people were known as the Chucky people, the Cherokee, the Cheeky people. They were indigenous Native American peoples, and they weren't happy where they lived in the lands east of the Mississippi River. And so Andrew Jackson had a plan. He said, it's going to be too hard to get so many people to move to Oklahoma, which was west of the Mississippi River. How will I do this endeavor? So he called Jesus. And Jesus came swooping down from the heavens on Rudolph the red-anused reindeer. And the reindeer had unfortunately had some inflammatory bowel disorders that plagued him, and that's why his anus glowed red like it did. So Jesus had to ride him backwards, because the anus was what lit the way for Jesus to come. And so, just like the song says, Rudolph, with your anus so bright, won't you bring the Messiah tonight? And you all know the song. Everybody knows the song. Anyway, so Jesus came down and landed in an undisclosed area east of the Mississippi, and said, y'all come on with me. We're gonna take a happy, fun walk down the Trail of Smiles, and it's gonna be fun. And no one wanted to go, and so Jesus was perplexed, because Andrew Jackson told Jesus that they're not happy where they were. They needed to be moved, but they were reluctant to make that move initially. So Jesus said, well, I bet you'll want to go once I show you this. And he pulled out a bunny, and the bunny could lay eggs, which was perfect timing for indigenous peoples, because they had an egg shortage at the time due to unseasonably cold temperatures that spring. And so all the children gathered around and shouted out with glee at the antics of the rabbit who could lay the eggs that were bright colors. And so then they all went with the bunny too. They all went, and they said, yeah, we'll go to this Oklahoma. And they all walked down the trail for many days, but it was perfect temperatures and everybody was happy. Not one tear was shed on this trail. It was not a trail of tears, it was a trail of smiles. And so they all ended up in Oklahoma, and then the native indigenous crucified the bunny in an act of terrible violence. And the bunny died horribly and slowly. And then 3 days after they done this, they buried the bunny under a rock. And then the bunny rose up from the grave and told him, hey, if you believe in Jesus's mom, she's a lady named Mary, you could go to the promised land where there's waterfalls made of chocolate, and they could swim in the chocolate rivers forever and ever. You got to believe in Jesus's mom Mary. And there's these buildings that we've erected with these funny things sticking out the roofs, and if you go there, they'll teach you how to do it and everything, and you'll be all right from that day forward. And all the Native American people said, oh, thank you, Easter Jesus Bunny, and Jesus too, for taking us here, because not one of us perished on this trail, and that's good, but mostly we want to go to the chocolate river and live there forever. And so thank you, yay, for Jesus, because you helped us all so very much. And that's the story of Easter, and how the Andrew Jackson and the rest of the white-skinned peoples, how they helped the indigenous peoples to be happier, and that way the indigenous peoples were able to live and prosper and be happy. And even to this day, the Native Americans, they celebrate this day as a day to remember all the good things that the white skinned people done for them. And that's the story of Easter. And thank you very much for listening. Have a great Easter, and always remember Easter Jesus. And this has been Magnified 111. Bye.